What's good, y'all? We are back with a new landing of Green Lantern War Journal on Planet Rell. Let's get into it. So we start here right where we left off on episode 2, after John got stabbed by Varen and he started being corrupted by the Radiant Dead. Now, since Varen's first meeting with John where he got beat up, he says he wanted to punish John since then. And he was preying on John's downfall. He wanted to hurt him, humiliate him, and kill him. But Varen knew he was weak to face John again, and that made Varen develop a strong hate for John. Then we see John's arm infected with the Radiant Dead, and Varen tells John, where Green Lantern Varen fell, Varen of the Radiant Dead stands victorious. Then he says the Revenant Queen will be pleased with him since he started the process of turning John into one of the Radiant Dead. Now John is like, alright bruh, we gon' see. And Varen over there talking his trash. He like, yeah John, fight. Use the little gifts that you thought made you special. Bruh, if I was John at this moment, bruh, I would have called up any other leaguer, just some other superhero just to sneak up on Varen on something. Now John makes a construct of a cannon, bruh. That man Varen is finna get erased, removed from this plane of existence. But Varen goes on to tell John that the light of the Radiant Dead can consume any form of life. Any form of life. So that means humans, animals, anything. But it has a favor towards lanterns. And that makes me wonder, like, is it just Green Lanterns? Or is it all the lanterns across the emotional spectrum? Now Varen starts to attack John, and he says the Radiant Dead's light is amplified by John Stewart's Green Lantern energy. It feeds on it. It thrives on it. And that makes me think of the Blue Lantern Corps, because the Green Lanterns are stronger when Blue Lanterns are around. Now John hits the ground after being attacked, and Varen tells him that the more of his power that he uses, the faster he'll turn. And John is like, you may think that, but I ain't finna be turned. Then John takes a swing at Varen but misses. But as you can see, his speech starts to slur. And he tells Varen that he never needed superpowers to deal with people like him. Then Varen mocks John like, oh, that's the legendary will that the stories tell of. And he says, let's put it to the test. Now Varen blew up the train track and John's mother was aboard. And Varen tells John to use his power to save his mom and let the Radiant Dead take over or watch his mom die. But somebody says that there's a third option, and that catches Varen's attention. Then we see these constructs of eagles attacking Varen. And those eagles did a number on Varen, like they took his leg and just took him away. Them eagles was like, yeah, we finna get rid of you, buddy. Now they lift the train up from going over the rails, and that saves everybody. Then John asks who helped him and who sent him, and it's Lantern Shepard. And Shepard tells John that he sent him from another universe, from another time. Then you see John, he got the sweats, and he like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Then he tells Shepard that his mom is on the train and he falls over, passing out. Now Shepard's ring tells him that John has the Radiant Dead within him. And Shepard like, yeah, I see that. And he says if the Radiant Dead turn John Stewart, this war is over before it even began. And I don't know where John is right now, but he's climbing up something. Then he hops over whatever it is to get to where he need to be. And then Shepard's ring starts talking to John. It says that he cannot outrun the Radiant Dead, and they will kill him if he tries. And at this point, I'm thinking like, okay, John is definitely in a nightmare because no ring is near him, and he doesn't even need a ring. And John says whoever is talking is not real. Then he tells whoever he is talking to that he is dying, and that it's trying to create a familiar voice within his head. And the voice is like, bro, that's hurtful. And the voice says, dying. John, you're definitely dying. And to say that I'm not real, but then we see John like, yo, what is this I'm seeing? And we see constructs of the Radiant Dead destroying a city. So John asks the voice, like, what is this? And the voice tells him, you don't need to tell me what war looks like. And this voice is cooking John. It tells him that since John came home, he's been telling himself that somebody else will handle his job. Either Superman, Wonder Woman, or even Hal. Then the voice tells him to look down in the valley and face the truth. If you don't stop the Radiant Dead, nobody will. Then we see John wake up from the nightmare and he's sweating bullets. Then he sits up and realizes that he's been inside a lab, and he starts to pull the cords up off of him, and we see Steel walk in. And Steel lets John know that he gave everybody a scare. But John is like, bro, where's my mom? And why do you have your armor on? Now Steel tells John that he's in Steelworks Tower and that his mom is here too. He says that his mom was a little injured, but they taking care of her. And John says that he needs to see her, but Steel like, not a chance. And John is like, excuse me? What you mean I can't see my mom? And Steel tells him that it's only because they need to figure out what's going on with his arm. And he says whatever it is, it already spread since he came in the building. And there is nothing within Steelworks Tower that can figure out what it is. Then Steel asks John, what did this to you? So John tells Steel about Varen, and he says that he was a Green Lantern and that they fought before. And since then, something has happened to him. He became like a light construct. And John doesn't remember what happened after the fight on a train. He asks Steel, how did I get here? And Steel tells him that somebody brought him here. And they did not give a name, but they're in the same line of work as John. And Steel doesn't mean architecture. So John walks outside and he looks around to see who brought him there. And then we see Shepard. And he says that he hoped that John pulled through, and he did. But that arm, it's not looking good. And Steel told Shepard that John quit the Green Lantern Corps. And Shepard asks John, is that true? But John tells him it's complicated. And Shepard says that he abandoned his post. And if somebody told him that Green Lantern John Stewart quit the corps in any universe, he would have laughed in their face. But John like, bro, I just came up here to say thank you for bringing me and my mom here safely. And Shepard tells him it doesn't make a difference now because he's too late. Then he starts to fly off saying he needs to go find other lanterns. But John flies up to him and he like, what you mean? And Shepard like, John, stop. Your powers are corrupted. And he doesn't want John to use his powers because he's going to turn into the Radiant Dead if he does. And after Shepard shot John, it teleported John to a whole nother place. So John is like, what is going on? Like, what just happened? So Shepard tells John that he's in the space between moments. And this place is between the energies that Shepard and his ring create. And if Shepard didn't pull John within that space, John will be a part of the Radiant Dead right now. And we see that same voice is speaking again. And it tells Shepard, like, bro, your manners are terrible. And John is like, who is that? But the voice starts speaking again, and it says, the Radiant Dead is a cosmic plague around Earth, and the Revenant Queen brought the Radiant Dead to Earth because of John. And John realizes that's the voice from his dream. He like, you can't be who you sound like. And the voice tells him that the souls of fallen Green Lanterns are bound to this place, so they can help other Green Lanterns that are still alive. And lo and behold, this voice is Kyle Rayner. My prediction was right. And John is shocked that it's Kyle. But Kyle is like, hey, it's good to hear your voice, John. He might not be the Kyle Rayner that this John knows, but him and the John where he's from, they've been through a lot together. And Kyle tells John that he should excuse Shepard's manners, but his talent with the ring makes up for it. So Shepard tells Kyle that they need to cut their losses because John is already infected. Then he says that this Earth is lost. And the way Shepard is acting, he like, let's just charge it to the game. Because this ain't the John we know. This one abandoned his own corpse. Then John yells at him like, what you know about it, bruh? You keep saying this wound is going to kill me. But I'm telling you, I don't have an option. And John tells Shepard that he made a promise. That boy Shepard was caught off guard by John yelling. Then we see John explaining his frustrations to Kyle. John says that he can't fight the Revenant Queen because he promised his mom that he wouldn't leave her again. And he worries about who's going to take care of his mom if he leaves or if the Revenant Queen kills him. But Kyle tells him that he's sorry and that he knows John thinks there are more people that can take on this fight, and they will try. But the Revenant Queen did not come here for them. She came here specifically for John. And this stems from what another John Stewart did to her. Do we know what she did? Nah, not yet. Kyle knows the promise that John made to his mom and the risk he's taking by leaving. But if John turns his back on this fight right now, his mother and everybody will pay for it. Now Kyle tells John that he doesn't know if he's going to survive this. And that's because only one person in the entire multiverse has. And that's John Stewart from the universe where Shepard and this Kyle Rayner is from. And with all of his gifts, he's not him. Not yet. But to save his mom, he has to be him. So Kyle tells John to say his goodbyes and to get ready to work. Now John is visiting his mom, and his mom is in a coma. So John approaches her and he tells her what's about to go on, even though she's in a coma. He says Steele and everybody there is going to take care of her, and he wishes that she was awake so he could tell her goodbye. But that would be even more difficult than what it is now. Then he tells her that he said he wouldn't leave, but he has to because the Radiant Dead got to him. Now John starts apologizing, and he says he wishes that he was better at what he's been doing. He's been frustrated, sad, and angry. And he says that his mom doesn't deserve that at all. And John knows that his mother is proud of him, but he wishes that his mother wouldn't call him the hero. He says that she was the one that stood 10 feet tall all the time. She showed him and his little sister Ellie how to be brave. And he says that she was the one that should have gotten the ring, not him. Now he starts talking about her disease, which is dementia. And it's been so hard on John. It's been the toughest thing that he's ever been through. John is sad that he has to leave his mom because when she wakes up, he won't be there and his little sister won't be there. And he says that he tried to be as good as his mom, but he's not. Then as he walks out, he says that he will not let those things, the Radiant Dead, hurt his mom again. And that's his promise. Now we in the Amazon rainforest, the Alto Rio Guama Reserve, and it's these people on motorcycles. And I don't know where they riding to, but they got guns and stuff. That one got a scope on it, like they out here moving. I don't know where they going to though. Now they get to their destination and they telling these people to come out. And it must be something serious because they got their guns out ready. And one of them is like, there is no birds here and they don't even see any bugs. Then we see there's a bird, a part of the Radiant Dead. And then it starts to go after them. And lo and behold, that voice is Varen's. And Varen been waiting for these people. And that the Revenant Queen welcomes them all. And as you can see, Varen has turned people and animals into the Radiant Dead. Man, if I would have saw Varen in public and I was a Green Lantern, I would have hit him with this.
Imaginary technique. Purple.
But hey man, that was Green Lantern War Journal, episode 3. I appreciate y'all for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all on the next landing on Planet Rell. God bless. I'm out.